Gender Rebels.
Welcome to Gender Rebels TV.
Hey Faith, I got a question.
Yeah? What's your
What are
question?
the top 5 misconceptions about transgender people?
Well, according to NASA, or the list I just came up with, you decide. Here are the top 5 misconceptions about transgender people.
Are you starting with number 5 and counting backwards?
They're in no particular order, according to NASA. Okay, number 1, that we're perverts.
You're not perverts.
We're not perverts. I mean, individually, we could be perverts in the sense that we like things other than missionary vanilla sex, but
I know at least 4 cisgender people who prefer missionaries, who prefer other positions.
okay. So yeah, so we're not the kind of pervert who are like sneaking into women's restrooms to like molest little girls. We're not child molesters. We're not serial killers. We are actually some of the most boring, mundane people you will ever meet. We just happen to have a gender presentation that's different than how we were born.
Basically, a birth defect.
Yeah, essentially.
Statistically, serial killers, molesters, cis people.
Cis
Overwhelmingly.
men.
Some women. But
some women, but mostly cis
hashtag
men.
not all men and hashtag
Hashtag not all cis men are serial killers.
But
just some of them.
basically,
Yeah.
if you look at the list of serial killers, it's dudes, they're cis, and most of them are white.
And I'd like to point out that Hitler is not a trans person.
Hitler's not trans. Not
trans.
even a little.
No. All right.
What's number 2?
Number 2, we are not all hookers or porn stars.
Well, so sex work is still sort of a thing, or it was?
I'm not going to denigrate someone who's a
Of
sex
course not.
worker.
No.
Especially someone who has chosen that and
Totally.
enjoys it. Obviously, if people are coerced into sex work, then I don't
Whole
want them
different
to be
thing.
doing that.
That is a whole different
But
thing, right?
I have friends who have done adult work and they enjoy it, and
that's cam girls.
we're not denigrating.
streetwalkers, escorts. There's
Not denigrating it at all. But
stay safe, stay healthy. But if that's the work you choose, that's the work you choose.
But that's not the vast majority of transgender people are not like that. We do other jobs. We are system administrators. We play the bass.
Are you math teachers?
Math teachers.
Are you nurses?
I work for government as a lower level bureaucrat.
You're a medium level bureaucrat.
Yeah.
Come on.
Medium level bureaucrat.
Middle man.
Yeah. Again, we're all just so mundane and boring. Number 3, that all transgender women are just trying to trick straight men into having sex with them. I would like to say, first off, as a trans lesbian, I'm not trying to trick any straight man into anything.
Nobody wants that dick.
No. And quite frankly, trans girls are girls who want to date guys who respect them for who they are. They're not out there trying to trick people. They're not gay men who are trying to trick straight guys into turning gay.
Are you saying that trans women are women looking for cool boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever they feel like?
Yeah.
There's no trickery at all?
There's no trickery. There's no trickery and there's no chickery.
Well,
just coffee. Number 4.
Weird.
Being transgender does not make you insane or depressed or drive you to suicide.
Is it technically a mental illness?
It is not actually a mental illness. Not at all. Now, some of us can be mentally ill. Like, I actually have been diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder.
GAD.
Doesn't mean that it doesn't have anything to do with being trans. So the important thing to remember is that trans people are like everyone else. Obviously, in a society that is going to not respect trans people and is going to treat them like shit, transgender people are going to have a worse time, and that's going to negatively affect their mental health.
They're at a higher risk because of the bias from our culture. They're not at a higher risk as an inherent fact of being transgender. And we're going to see this more with little kids who are growing up, who have cool parents, who let them present and behave and block puberty or whatever as they want.
Yeah.
Those kids are going to be awesome.
They're going to have such a great time.
I'm so jealous.
And number 5, transgender people exist. We are not something that is just crazy. What? Some people think we're crazy. Some people think trans people are just crazy, that it doesn't really exist. I'm transgender and I'm undergoing medical treatment for my condition via a doctor, a medical professional who accepts that I am transgender.
An allopathic doctor, it's important to point out.
Seriously,
This alternative
medical
stuff.
degrees and everything. They do blood work. Find me a homeopathic doctor that does blood work. They can't. They're not licensed. Only go to real doctors, people. But the point is, transgender people exist. We live in your community. We are members of the community. We are members of society. We pay our taxes. We exist. We are involved in the system. And we are your neighbors and friends and boyfriends and girlfriends and everything in between. And we just want to be treated like everyone else.
You know a transgender person. And I realize that people watching this probably are or know transgender people. Everyone knows a transgender person. They're everywhere. The incidence of transgenderism is as great as that of diabetes too.
Wow, that's actually quite high.
It's pretty frequent.
Yeah. So that's it.
They're everywhere.
So that's it. It's the top 5 things, misconceptions about being transgender.
Glad we could set these misconceptions straight for you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Links to all of our stuff down below.
All right, everyone.
Bye.
If you've enjoyed this episode and want to help us keep making more great content, go to patreon.com/genderrebels.
Music for the Gender Rebels is by Jasper the Colossal. Download them on iTunes today.
And for all our episodes, visit genderrebels.com.